I'm very happy to be with you SEAP members, and I must congratulate father of the Anand Deshpande ji, who started this SEAP as I because becoming an association and not remaining individual. It's a team spirit, and that needs to be built for success of individual industry also and jointly also together. I was IT task force chairman of government of Maharashtra, and Anand Khandekar, he was my friend, philosopher and guide that time. And Anand Deshpande himself, he is such a gem of a person that he is innovative. He has built his persistent on his own, and as he said, with 6 orbits change. And more importantly, he does so many good things in society without telling anybody else. He is not into advertising what he does. He believes in work. And so, great two people, and they must be our idols, icons for how to conduct ourselves in our industry and elsewhere. When I was chairman of the IT task force, we visited the Hinjewadi area. That time it was only, the area was demarcated and more. So what we suggested immediately that the area should be more than double. So that's how I have seen the whole growth of Hinjewadi, not the last mile connectivity, because that's always the problem. And the bridge was it was on the highway and not on the way to Hinjewadi. But that's how Pune happens. IT that time was a new phenomenon. And NASCOM was very active, and Devang Mehta was a great friend of mine, and with great ideas, passion. During Atalji's time, the country was not knowing IT was only income tax. Then we started saying IT is India today. So that is how, and then it was IT is India tomorrow. That time, $50 billion export was the target to be achieved in 10 years. But I'm happy last year you have exported $156 billion. It's a huge export. 12 lakh crore rupees. It's not a small amount. And India is proud of our IT capabilities. The way entrepreneurs have become and have invented and have done the business and provided the IT services to the world. Those were the days when only one CM was able to give presentation on computer. That was Chandrababu Naidu. He was the only one, because others were, this is also illiteracy, no? When I became IT task force chairman, Professor Nawate of MIT called me for an inauguration of a conference. I said, I don't know anything. But he said, come. So I went. I could understand, though I am not a technocrat, I understand the importance of the things. And therefore, and capability of it, what it can become. That time, government offices were using only typewriter. We started first computers, but we had to train people, government employees. And for that, Vivek Sawan built a new course, and that was en masse trained, and we financed it. And that's how thousands of government employees become computer literate that time. Then we started with first citizen-friendly applications. And in that first citizen-friendly applications, the old Inspector General of Registry, IGR, was a very chaotic situation. If you sell property, if you purchase property, your registration was not final for at least 20 years. But with CDAC and government working together, we came out with this digital registry process. And it was like a wonder to all of us. So that what happened. But let me tell you, from there on, today we have progress. But there are always challenges as you grow. We are very strong on routine software tasks. But I see in 2-3 years, that is my information, in 2-3 years, many of these tasks will be performed by computers with AI capabilities. We need to focus on product development, like Zoho or Freshworks. Routine data processing is becoming very competitive. There was one suggestion that we start with 100-seat rural BPOs, which will be cost-effective. But these are temporary solutions. Youngsters have to be trained. Their skills need to be upgraded to move from routine IT tasks to learn to apply themselves. Upgradation of skills. I know because I go always in Chennai. IIT Madras is my favorite spot. And I started BS in data sciences without JEE. And it's online. So such courses needs to be pursued by young people, and we must encourage and sponsor also, because that is, they can only deal with the future challenge. The real question in my mind, and that is my real point of today's speech, why we don't innovate as India, why we don't innovate with groundbreaking ideas. iPhone. In 98, when I went to America as a task force chairman, we were 2 days with Steve Jobs. We discussed a lot of things. He was giving us a presentation because that time there was no iPhone. He was showing us that I am creating such a handheld that will change the whole way of we live. And I famously, I recall it very clearly, he said that after my phone, everybody will be looking like this. And that's what has happened. Now in a restaurant also, in a family dinner, people look to their phone more than to each other. This is where we have reached. But iPhone has changed the whole idea of phone and has become the king. Microsoft was a different ballgame, but it created their own products, and that was the part of all computer systems. Google, the search engine. When first Google was established, I was absolutely illiterate on IT, but my friend told me, this is the change which is coming. This is a historical thing that has happened today. Google search engine, and we are now experiencing it. Amazon is entirely a different thing. And social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, LZ, and now ChatGPT. This is changing our life. But and I'm very sure that Indian brains are there in all the teams that have innovated all these companies and many things. But we are contributors to innovation. We are not owners of innovation. And unless we become owners of innovation, we will not be a prosperous country. That is the reality. Only those countries prosper which innovate. And therefore, America's model is different. My limited experience, but America invites, attracts talent from all over the world. And how much they do expenditure on best of the best students? In 5 years, maximum 5 crore, 10 crore rupees. But they provide everything. And the same guy earns for America at least $5,000 or $50,000 of how he innovates. I have a story to share why India don't innovate. I was in 2018, I was in charge of Karnataka elections for BJP. And I was staying in a colony, Shivajinagar. So there was one day, one young man walked into my flat and he said, I am Kaushik Mudda. And he gave me one memento like thing. And he said, I have invented 5D printing technology. We know 3D printing technology. He invented 5D printing technology. He said, I have done with this. This saves cost. This is unique. And this saves time also. But along with that, he gave me a book titled 63 Rejections. I was curious. I read it immediately. And it's a story you also should read. That he went with this 5D printing technology to all industries, important industries of India. He went to universities. Nobody was interested. After 63 rejections, he got a first customer in Ludhiana who was a simple, small, medium-scale industry he was manufacturing automobile parts, and he understood the importance of this technology and he used it. He got more profits. So, this is the cause. And who were interested? USA, UK, Japan, Italy, Israel showed interest in this technology and now are using widely. And UK's Sheffield University has made a tie-up with him. But in Indian films, there is always a second part of the story also. And ultimately, hero has to win. So, what is the latter part of the Mudda story? He was awarded CEA's Best Innovation Award. Then PM Narendra Modi interviewed him. Things changed immediately. Make in India came. Defense exports were allowed. And now he is doing good business in India also because of new demand of of new technology used by defense export industry. So the question is, after this story, why India don't innovate? I'm not expert, but I can tell what people say. We have a service mentality. We look only quarter to quarter. We are not ready to welcome new and crazy ideas. Sharad Joshi was a farmer leader. And I said once he accepted our BJP worker in his team. So I said, he is useless fellow, he is crazy fellow. That is why I have taken, he said. We must be ready to welcome new ideas. We are not ready to listen to anyone. Mudda goes to 63 companies and universities, and nobody is willing to even listen to it. If that is the case, then we will not innovate. And corporates also. Big industries should really invest in research. And they are not ready to take risks. As a disclaimer, let me say this, I am not criticizing. This is how people view the industry. We must build research capabilities and we must have that research appetite. So what Narendra Modi government has done in last 8.5 years? Make in India. Make in India is not simply produce in India. It is come, invest, innovate, make in India, and sell with pride as made in India. That is the full vision of Make in India. Production link incentives, 2.5 lakh crore rupees, 10 sectors, including chips. We will win the battle only if we go ahead with that vision. Digital India. Now it's so common that now nobody keeps cash and everybody pays, Google Pay and everything. That is what is happening. I today told one chartered accountant told me the one lacuna is that Paytm and other payments, whether they are accounted as a income in tax or not, that is also, I will immediately tell Finance Ministry to look into that. And the story which has gone viral, you have seen, that is also India. That a court orderly, Jharkhand court orderly, for taking out the files and everything, now you know there are charges. He has put QR code on his pocket. So no questions asked, no talk, just go shoot him and send him. In Maharashtra, we observe and worship bullock on Bail Pola Day. So, in cities we don't get bullocks now, so people come with bullocks and people also pay for the grass and everything. So I also went down. And the bullock horns had a QR code. This is how we have become complete digital. That's the transparency and that's the best way to move forward. As you are dealing in data, you know that we have the cheapest data in the world. Other countries charge too heavily. We have 20 rupees per GB download. We have started, these are all policy measures. But we have already started in 12,000 schools Atal Tinkering Labs. This is also beginning of innovation. And my granddaughter, who is now in 6th, last year she was very excited. I said, why you are excited? Because from 6th to 12th, she can go and play in Atal Tinkering Lab. That was the attraction. This has changed and we organize every year Olympiad and students come with beautiful ideas. I had negotiated with MIT, an Indo-US joint venture in IT. And there was Negroponte, the professor. He used to say, he gave me a book and On that book, on the very first page, it was written that if somebody comes to tell me that I have innovated this, I ask him, what is the age of your child? Because the idea is many times of the child. That is how things happen world over. The National Hackathon is a story to be told. I was HRD minister. Abhay Jere came to me and he told me proposed about hackathon. On that day, first time I heard the word hackathon. But immediately in 20 minutes I said yes. And immediately we started moving. In first year, 40,000 engineering students participate. We gave 600 problem statements. Students, team of 6 members, all this protocol was designed by Abhay Jere. And practically Abhay Jere started working full-time like us. So I asked, where you serve? He said, I serve with Anand Deshpande in Persistent, and he has given me full permission to work for this cause. And he started doing this. And now in 6th or 7th year, 6th year, we are now participation of more than 4 lakh students. 6 students, engineering students, come as a team, work as a team, select a problem statement, and they think over it, read about it, experiment for coding. Because first 3 years it was only digital. Now we have started hardware hackathon also. And that is also giving. So today is not the day of making long speeches. But national education policy, the base of it is to develop critical and analytical abilities in the students. And so the main chapter which you should all read is, as a parents also, is the early childhood education. Age 3 to 8, their whole experimental learning will give the fillip to their creative abilities and not rote learning. So that is the national education policy. What is the way forward? I think with robotics, artificial intelligence, tools, and 5G, we are entering into Industry 5.0. And I'm very sure that though we have not innovated groundbreaking ideas because of our attitudes also, now everybody has realized the importance of innovation. At your place, you must be engaged in, but welcome those with listen to all ideas. Some may be good, some may be bad, some may be worst, but okay, listen. Accept some new crazy proposals also. And corporates also should fund sufficiently for such projects. That is the way forward. Thank you and all the best.